Attack on Titans come a long way, hasn't it? Back then it was the humans who used to attack the Titans, but now it's the Alliance trying to attack the final boss Titan, who ironically is the protagonist of this story. Since the season ended, it's time to look back at 10 of the best moments in the final season. Are you ready? Let's get started. We start with Survey Corps vs Titans. You know, every anime has that team building moment. It's that scene where they used to show a short then versus now segment to prove to us how strong or OP the characters have gotten. And boy, it's the Survey Corps we're talking about. Come on, this team has an Ackerman, and that's all you need to know. Remember in Season 1 when these same people were cowering behind buildings afraid of Titans? Well, it's time for the Titans to cower and run away because the years of training and this whole drama with Eren has given them a tone of backbone and skill. Also, let's not forget to praise Mappa for a bit. Is it me or do they just seem to love the Alliance? They gave them the perfect soundtrack and a high-budget animation that probably watered your eyes. If Levi was here, the battle would have ended much sooner, but we all know he was suffering from a minor injury thanks to Eren's big brother. Next is third round of Levi and Zeke. Okay, so our Monkey Boy and OP Soldier might not have many scenes in this season since both are busy looking depressed or their screen time's being cut in half, but they had a good showdown in the first part of Season 4. Perhaps showdown is the wrong word since Levi's involved in this battle. We all know that when this guy starts swinging, the other side isn't going to even have a chance to wave the white flag. Then again, Zeke's never the one to wave a white flag, is he? He does what he does best, scream hard and turn everyone into Titans. But this time, he doesn't have the advantage of the arena because the forest is too small and the trees give ample cover for Levi. So in one moment you have a monkey throwing rocks at you, and in the next moment you've got one sliced monkey ready to be sent to the butcher. We move on to Mikasa vs Yeagerists. Speaking of the Ackermans, we can't forget our Ackerman sister whose only goal is now to stop Eren from committing genocide. And that means anyone who gets in her way is going to suffer the same fate as Zeke. Come on, there's nothing better than watching someone play Yandere Killing Simulator. Alright, jokes aside, Mappa nailed this scene with the animation. I know the other members of the Alliance put up a decent fight too, but Mikasa clearly earned the spotlight. She turned into one slashing machine once she saw the Yeagerists, and this is enough proof that you should never get on her bad side. Will Eren be proud of Mikasa going chainsaw woman on his small army? Well, we'll have to wait till their final confrontation to find out. Eren's fight with the Warhammer Titan is next. This can also be called Eren's first fight with high IQ, because this guy clearly used his brain more than his fists. That doesn't mean he didn't use his fist though. He clearly became Raiden 2.0 when he started punching the living hell out of the Warhammer Titan. But the beauty of the fight lies in the strategy Eren uses. Gone are the days when this boy lets his rage take control of him. He's taken his beating and he's learnt his lesson. Now he knows to plan before the smash. You can see how he clearly analyzes the enemy and even finds out how the Warhammer Titan operates. And then comes the darker part where he uses the Jaw Titan to break the crystal and drink the blood of Lara Tiber like a modern version of Dracula. That's the moment we realize that our Eren is gone and a new monster had awakened. But come on, admit it, this guy is way better than the old one we had, right? It's time for Annie and Reiner versus Yeagerists. Well, what do you know, Annie can do so much more than eating pies, and Reiner can do so much more than trying to find creative ways to die. I'm glad the anime shined the spotlight on them because of the overflow of the characters we used to know have been getting screen time less and less. And once again, Mappa did justice to these two characters. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that sequence with the vertical maneuvering equipment? Perhaps this is the dream team we never thought of, but we badly wanted. Come on, the final Titan and the Armored Titan in one fight? Now I know the way Annie killed the Yeagerists might have given everyone some bad memories about Petra and the rest of the gang, but sorry folks, this time Levi could only be a bystander and digest it all instead of slicing her up again. Floch Final Charge is the next entry on this list. I need to admit I wasn't a huge fan of Floch, or King Floch as his fans call him, but this scene completely changed my mind. I know we should be focusing on the Alliance, but the studio did a great job humanizing the Yeagerists and showing that they're the same as the Alliance. It's another group of people united for a common cause. And who better to lead the Yeagerists than Floch? It's amazing how we went from a wimpy, afraid soldier in Season 3 to a hard-boiled war veteran who charged against a Titan and kicked Hanji in the face. I felt like ever since Eren started the rumbling, we haven't been getting much character development with the rest of the cast and everyone's been stagnant just to push the plot forward. So when Floch charges for an all versus one fight after finally getting the balls of Erwin, that goes down in my top 10 moments list. Next is Eren's transformation in Liberio. This probably went down as one of the best moments in TV history, and if the fandom didn't go into a stupid war about which soundtrack they should have used, this would have been one of the highest rated episodes of all time. This scene laid the foundation in building the events of this season, and ever since we saw Eren eat Taiba faster than you eating a McDonald's burger, we knew stuff was about to go down in a direction we'd never thought. Even manga readers will admit that this was the scene that changed normal fans into hardcore fans of the story. Eren Yeager, the bystander who watched the story from a distance, became the main driving force of the story. It's almost like the guy said, screw it, I'll write my own story. And it started with Eren giving Reiner a pep talk and then declaring the war Karl Fritz said no to ages ago. We move on to the moment when Eren manipulates his father. Who knew that Eren was playing 4D chess all along? Turns out this guy planned his own future by setting everything in stone. Remember when Eren used to moan to Historia in Season 3 about bearing the sins of his father? Well, that guy clearly would have been surprised to know it was all his doing. Oh, wait, he didn't know about it when he kissed Historia's hand? No wonder he's been depressed ever since. But let's put that aside and take a moment to appreciate one of the best written plot twists of all time. Imagine how much planning the author had to do to get to this point. Clearly this isn't one of those sudden shock moments that are just there to surprise the audience, because all of this was foreshadowed way before when we got a flashback of the events in the Reese cave when Eren kissed Historia's hand. Manipulating and bending the minds of people, Eren is almost like Lelouch at this point. Eren starting the rumbling is the next moment on the list. And it all leads to this moment. This is the future Eren wanted, and just like the narrative showed us, this is the only way to protect Paradise and the people Eren cares about. Who thought that Eren would be the final boss of the story? Remember what he said to Hanji back in the prison? This is the only way. But enough about Eren, let's talk about the transformation. Remember back in the day when you thought Rod Reese had the largest Titan? Well, guess we've got a new contender. And seeing Eren's hulking Titan form in that setting with the walls crumbling around them was one of the most terrifying sequences in the series. Then he goes into a speech about how he's going to kill everyone outside the walls that stand as his enemy. Let's see if he'll be able to do that, since the Alliance has got 2 Ackermans and a guy very skilled in the talk no jutsu department. And the number 1 moment is Eren's rumbling. Well, what do you know? Eren's a guy who keeps his promises. Remember how he swore to avenge his mother in the first arc? Remember that anime original sequence with the Berserk Titan echoing about destroying the entire world? And here we are finally at that moment when Eren decides to take his revenge. Back in the day, no one thought Isayama would go that far to make Eren commit such a heavy sin. and the rumbling was just like a myth we heard that would never happen. But we know how much Isayama loves planning, and Eren's entire character has been written to get to this very moment. And this sequence pretty much proved Eren's final transformation was the most brutal transformation of all time. Sure, this guy's just a skeleton, but then you start to remember there's a whole set of colossals coming behind him. So when the soldiers yell, "It's the Attack Titan," all the missing puzzle pieces fit inside your head, and you realize how much Isayama planned before writing this story. So there goes 10 of the best moments in the final season. It seems we'll have to wait a bit more to see the end, but come on, it's been one heck of a season. We've had time travel, an ancient lolly, a guy who wants to do genocide, and a ton of other stuff. As usual, if you want to see more moments like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed this video. That's all for today, Attack on Titan fans, and I'll see you in the next video.